I've been to all 50 states twice, and this is one of the most beautiful weeks in the United States. This is Washington, D.C. during cherry blossom season. Three days ago, the National Park Service announced their projected peak bloom forecast for 2026. It's projected as March 29th through April 1st. When we went in 2024, the projected peak date was March 23rd, which was the exact day that we were planning to be there. However, the peak bloom came early that year and landed on March 17th, one of the earliest that they've seen. Still, at 6 days later, we were able to see really great blooms, and we were very happy with the blooms that we saw at the basin. But the weather changed while we were there, and DC got a whole bunch of rain, a whole bunch of wind after we visited, and the blooms didn't last at peak much longer. I was super grateful when we went at how many blossoms there were. It was absolutely magical and beautiful. And then when the wind would pick up, the petals would fall and it seemed like it was snowing flowers. March can be a cold time of year to explore DC. We wore winter coats and warm shoes and other winter accessories. The rain and cold also came into play multiple times at our visit. If you want to know the past years when peak bloom has existed, the National Park Service has a chart that lists each year and when peak bloom hit. When we went, we got super lucky for multiple reasons. This was the last year that the cherry trees were there before construction started on the Tidal Basin zone, which is the construction that is going on even this year, making a lot of improvements. It's a massive project. It's taken multiple years. And they also had to take out a bunch of the cherry trees. I had heard a lot about the cherry blossoms in DC my whole life growing up. My mom had always wanted to get married in DC during cherry blossom season. My parents married in a different state, and I don't think my mom ever got the chance to see the cherry blossoms. My mom isn't with us anymore. To honor her on that visit, I wore our birthstone, and I hope in a way she got to be part of it that day. I'm very grateful she taught me about the cherry blossoms in DC. She also had a dream to travel to Japan, as she had a lot of respect for Japanese people. The cherry trees in Washington, D.C. were a gift from Japan. It was a lot of years in the making, and the idea to have cherry trees in DC started with a woman in 1885. It also involved a plant explorer, the wife of President Taft, the Japanese chemist who discovered adrenaline, the mayor of Tokyo, and many other people. It is also a tale where it didn't go smoothly. Japan originally sent us 2,000 cherry trees, which we basically burned almost all of them because of bugs. And in response, they ended up sending us 3,020 trees. The President of the United States did send flowering dogwood trees back to Japan. They also gifted us more years later, and currently, with all of the construction going on, Japan, to honor the fact that it is the 250th anniversary of the United States gaining its independence, they are sending us 250 cherry trees again. The original gift of cherry trees was from the people of Japan to the people of the United States as a gift of friendship. And we definitely can thank Japan for the beauty that marks our nation's capital once a year in the spring. On the National Park Service website, you can also learn about how they take care of these precious cherry trees. There's a lot that goes into making sure these trees are healthy and that they're constantly giving them the nutrients that they need to survive so that annually we can see them at their best. The Cherry Blossom Festival began many years ago, and it runs now for 2 weeks, and there are many events and activities involved. But it all stems back to when President Taft's wife and an ambassador from Japan's wife planted 2 Yoshino cherry trees. Tidal Basin is one of the best places to see the cherry trees as they pretty much line the entire basin of water. And you can take a walk all around and you can go see many memorials within that circle. The grounds surrounding the Washington Monument also has different cherry trees scattered around. And one of the other coolest places to see the cherry trees is from the Washington Monument all the way up the angle where the Tidal Basin, there's a ring of trees, these puffy balls all over surrounding Tidal Basin, some by the White House, some over here. It's a pretty cool view to see the different trees in the different areas. We flew to Washington, D.C. to see the cherry blossoms. Due to it being a very popular event, rental car prices were outrageous, and so was the parking at the hotel. So when we arrived into Washington, D.C., we took a taxi to our hotel. Then we decided to take Ubers and Metro for the rest of the time. That helped a lot with parking because we got dropped off right by Tidal Basin and we were able to explore the Tidal Basin without having to worry about parking or fees or anything like that. There were so many people. This event gets a lot of visitors, as it should. We walked around Tidal Basin, we walked to many different memorials and monuments. Blossom blooms. But it's definitely crowded. We walked over to Arlington Cemetery and we did get on the metro there. There were metro workers that were able to help us understand how to buy our tickets, what kind of tickets we needed, and to double check the lines where we were planning to stop next. We also saw the Pentagon and the 9/11 memorial there. And over the course of 2 days, we got to explore many different sites around DC, the nation's capital, Virginia, and surrounding areas. Some of the monuments you will find as you walk around Tidal Basin are Thomas Jefferson Memorial, Japanese Pagoda, Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial, Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, the Washington Monument, and further out, the Lincoln Memorial, the World War II Memorial, and many other memorials. Some other things to note. You also might see other trees that are blooming as well, and they also had a tulip garden that was in full bloom when we were there too. You can ride boats in the Tidal Basin. People fly kites, and some people sell kites around the Washington Monument. And the Smithsonian museums are free. However, some of them you need a reservation. To go up into the Washington Monument, reserve your tickets in advance. We tried to get tickets for the next day. They sold out in 1 minute. We weren't able to get them for the very first day we would be in DC, but we were able to snag one. I was standing in the shower, Chris was standing outside of it. We both had our phones ready with a timer for when they released them. The very first time that I ever went to DC, I wasn't able to do the Washington Monument because it was under construction. So this was really special to be able to do it during cherry blossom season and just to be able to do it in general. So try to get your tickets in advance if you know the dates that you are going. If not, cross your fingers and use the technique that we did. Maybe not in the shower. And of course, I have to wear a t-shirt if we have one. We bought this from a truck, sitting on one of the roads in Washington, D.C., and I really liked it because it showed the cherry blossoms. As always, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, comment, share, and like my videos, and I will keep bringing you really cool places, events, and things from the United States. Happy spring and safe travels, everyone!